Alright, so I was just doing a recording for you guys. I was doing a lot of waffling about this. I was trying to do a new setup for processing, but I'm going to do a bunch of that testing off camera. You guys don't need to see me going through all that testing. Um, what I am going to do is I'm going to set up processing for plastics, sulfur, and solid rocket fuel down here, or rocket fuel down here, so that we can start getting towards launching a rocket. Um, I will see you guys once we get into that. All right, with a bit of shenanigans and spaghetti that would make my friend almost puke. I have set up a situation to keep our supply of um, water and such flowing. The way that this works is the water that is coming from this process up here will then flow down into here as well, which is just because we're trying to get rid of that water anyways. And that water will be used for cracking processes when cracking processes are needed. The heavy oil is set up to only crack heavy oil if we have more than 2,000, and it's only set to crack light oil if it overflows the 80% with the valve, and then they only flow in if they are greater than if they're less, if they're the sources that they're pouring into are less than 50%. So that should keep our cracking processes going and keep our stuff processing. What we have finished is solid fuel, which is then going into rocket fuel. This is probably a really slow process and will need to be sped up in the future. I also am creating plastics. I just need to create sulfur. I was going to get to the sulfur once I finished the process I was working on, which was all of this. Now, there are two ways I can do sulfur. There's the smart way, and then there's the not so smart way that is the slightly easier way, and it's slightly tempting, but I will be doing it the smart way. The other way is to build a bunch of these and use the Coriolis fluid to create sulfur so that I don't have to create water. Because I will be using the Coriolis fluid to create water. Mostly because it's easier to do it that way than it is to get stuff I need to create than it is to pump water over here. It's easier just to create it on site. So we put this together. This is a quick and easy setup to get yourself some water with just these three buildings and electricity. Because this will produce it every 10 seconds. This will consume 10 every 10 seconds to create 2, and this will use that 2 to create water. So it's a pretty quick and easy process to get easy water. The reactor is using it for its water. This is going to use it for the water to build to create the sulfur. I just wanted to show you guys what I was doing so far. I will keep you guys here because I need to finish up this recording. I did do another recording where I tried to talk about the other process I was doing, and it just it ended up just it just ended up not feeling like it was very good. So I decided to scrap that and bring you guys this instead. I don't really have the time to do that, but whatever. I can do it anyways. I don't have a whole lot of time today, but I have enough time to do 2 recordings. Especially if I just make this recording have bits and bobs of what's going on. Right. For sulfur, all we need is water and petroleum gas. Go ahead and do this. I could make these on the same side, but it doesn't really matter to me either way. I don't plan on keeping these processes for very long. And the only reason I've been using underground pipes as much as I am is because of the fact that I am trying to keep myself from having to find my way around a maze of my base. I put these just far enough apart to put the pipes in like I like to. Now to get the petroleum gas to the other side, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Grab us up some pipe. And that will get us our petroleum gas to the other side. And if we put some power to it, it will make sulfur. Sulfur can be put onto this belt. And then what I'll do is I will move these up to the main bus, and then start getting us towards getting low density structures and blue silicon chips, which is what this is needed for, is the blue chips. We might do the blue chips next because I just got to turn this into sulfuric acid, which actually that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to turn it into sulfuric acid next. I do wish I had... My big thing about it is that I might just let this run and create a ton of landfill just to make this island super big to make it easier for me to do some landing on. Because that's what I keep finding myself lacking, is areas just to throw down a blueprint and then move that blueprint where I need it to be. Just watering. Yes, it is. No, that's sulfur. I need to figure out how to make sulfuric acid, which is just water as a fluid input. So actually, we're going to put these right next to each other so that's easier. Well, we're going to give them one space so that I can put power poles between them. We'll do just 6 buildings again. Again, the ratio might not be right, but I am not trying to get the correct ratios right now. I'm just trying to get it built so I can start launching rockets so I can get science flowing. I can build the actual stuff later. I need more pipe. I need more iron. Good news is that since I went through the process of getting all that temporary raw resource set up, we have plenty of resources to build with. Once we have bots, we'll be a lot better, which is the other reason why I decided I'm just going to get, science flowing and get white science finished. Because once I can get white science finished, then we can move on to doing, then I can get a bot mall built, and the bot mall can supply us with supplies, which will make this go a lot faster, and I won't have to cut out as much of me just waiting to get resources and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Oops. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then over here, I could have just cut this, but then I'd have a blueprint in my inventory that I'd never delete and take up space, and I'd have to have like hundreds of those blueprints eventually. Because what you can do is you can do horizontal flipping now. What I will do is I will do this. What this is doing is this is setting them up to be the proper orientation. Don't need that one. But as we can see now, they're all the proper orientation. Then what we can do is we can just cut, move it over to here. Build it. Bring this up here like so. Over. That. Then we can do this. I don't want that to go there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here. Then I can do this. So that it's more clear and concise of where it's going. And it's not blocking the pipe for the sulfuric acid when that comes out. This can go up to here. Well, I like building out the bus as quickly as possible because then I can know where it all is going to go. Copper line. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the steel line. And then 1, 2. I think I did 3 instead of... Yeah, I did 3 instead of 4, but that's fine. That doesn't need as much. I am going to be bringing down steel and bricks. Steel I obviously need for blue science. I also need it for the the low density structures, because that's copper, steel, and plastic. I also need it for building engine units for sulfur for the blue science if I decide to go there. I'm probably not going to set blue science up on an automation. I'm probably just going to find a way to do it without that, or just hand science my way to logistics. But we'll see. Just check my time. Let's see. We needed that to make blue circuits, and blue circuits are in here. 1, 2, 3. Blue circuits need green circuits, red circuits, and sulfur. So it's actually the same as this process. It's just we're not using that, which means I'm gonna actually have to do it like this. But what I can do is go ahead and do just 8 of these. Again, I don't need an income of it. I just need a trickle of it to get to white science. White science is actually something that you just have to launch a couple of rockets to get it. You don't need to launch that many. It's everything you need for white science is in space. Oops, wrong one. There we go. No. There we go. The process that I'm doing here is basically I'm making it to where I can get a kind of a setup of what this is going to look like, and then if we wanted to, we could extend it, which we might do if I end up deciding this isn't fast enough. That's why I'm making 8 of them, because now if I copy this, if I do this and I copy it, I can then come down to here and be like, paste, 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 and then it would make, I can easily extend this further out. I don't think I'm going to need to do that because, as far as I remember, our raw resource process that we have right now won't even keep part of this running. We're going to take this over and put it with rocket fuel, just so it's taken care of where its outbelt is. And then we're going to need a third one to do for oh yeah, that needs iron. I forgot about that. This is a problem. There's probably somebody who's going to be like having it be that sometimes it goes under, sometimes it doesn't. Is going to probably drive some people crazy. But again, I'm not going to keep this. I'm just trying to get this working. Grab a few of these. See you guys. All right. Kind of forgot that I took you guys out, and then forgot to bring you guys back. We got blue science. We got sulfur all finished up. We got blue science feeding it sulfuric acid, except for it needs to go across. And then we have their belts for the red circuits and the green circuits. I plan on doing a very similar idea with red circuits and green circuits as I did the last time I was doing this, which basically is the idea is that I'm going to do I'm going to do a red circuit build and then a green circuit build to supply the red circuits to the red circuit build. Provide green circuits to red circuit build, but overflowing circuits from this will go into blue circuits to help with the blue circuit build. We will have its own personal green circuits providers eventually, but to kind of get a trickle started, and for resource purposes in the future, it will be set up like that. I am also going to kind of switch up how I do the power poles for this, because I don't want to have to do the undergrounds like I did here. This was really annoying. Once I have blue, it won't be as big of an issue, but here it is because of the needs. Plus, oh, that's a 3, so I can't put the power poles on the side like that. Because it needs to be a 3 input. Which I think, yep, work. And then I can do this to bring the 3 in that need to be brought in, which is plastics, wires, and green circuits. So actually these will come up. This will come down, this will come down, and this will come up. And then what we'll do is we'll bring the plastics in from underneath, because this is the only thing that plastics are going to be feeding into. So it'll be easier for me to bring plastics in from underneath. That was perfectly planned. I wasn't planning it. Oh, just remember that plastics also need to go into low density structures, which is why they were going onto the belt. And, all right. Completely forgot that plastics are both in red circuits and low density structures. Okay, well, what I can do is I can do this. And then put that there. The bots pick these up. And then I can go ahead and pick all this up. What I can do is just bring this down. What I'm going to do next is something else that I do with this normally. But since these are going to be on the belt, not what I want to do. That's fine. I'll fix that in a minute. I was trying to, I hate when I move my mouse from one block too far. There we go. Now I can do this. Oh, they picked up all the plastic. Oh, that was a pointless effort. This can go there, that can go there, and then this needs blue and copper, not blue, green and copper wire. So, copper wire can come through here. And then green can come through here. This. There we go. And then what I'm going to do, like I said before, is I'm going to do this. It's going to prioritize to the right. It comes down like this to connect it to that, which will be the green circuit connection. Which then what we'll do is we'll do this. Need green circuits in blue. Now what we need wire. Here. 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 And here. I need to get more landfill. This is what I mean by like I'm just gonna start placing landfill, and I might just off screen I might just grow the island exponentially because I'm sick and tired of this needing more and more landfill. Probably don't need to be making it this big, but meh. That's also my other issue is like I'm not thinking C block, I'm thinking normal Factorio, so I'm just making a base that I'm just letting grow exponentially out of control constantly. I should be doing a lot more compact building. I'm just not the type of person to be able to do compact building. I like C blocks because of their infinite resources. I don't like C blocks because of their desire to be compact builders. You don't need this much copper wire for the amount of red circuits I'm currently building. Again, I might be building too little, I might be building too much. It's not that big of a deal to me right now. I just want to get this working. I will worry about making it more efficient later. I'd break these two, that doesn't need that. I kind of wish that it would plan that. Like if it knew it didn't need that many, it would. Like if the build doesn't need that many, it wouldn't put down that many. Just trying to get to the bot age now at this point with this. Okay, that now needs to be told to make wire. I probably only need 2 of these, but again, I'm building it to the possibility of upgrading it and making more, which I realize we need to decrease this, so that'll go there. Yep. Go ahead and turn that back to normal. To here. And bring that to there. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Forgot to put down the inserters, and they're gonna start taking copper wire, even though it's not what they're supposed to be taking. Oh, because I split the green circuit. I'm like, why is it taking copper wire, but it's not taking copper wire from one side but not the other? One thing I should be doing is I should be copying these and making them into blueprints for when I rebuild the entire base. Hopefully I remember to do it later, because I'm not doing it right now because I'm lazy. Alright, the next one is I'm going to need more of the inserters. I'm actually running low on time to record right now. I need to finish up. You guys are probably going to be with me for the rest of this. Haven't gotten much people talking. People are still watching it, but not people are talking. So I'm guessing that people are just okay with how I'm doing it now. I did this wrong. That's okay. I'll fix it in a second. I can fix it when I can fix it with the blueprint in a second. Go. I could do it like this and take the wires and take the copper from this wire belt. I know that that's going to cause problems in the future, but I'm willing to deal with that in the future. You can put there. Actually, no. You put there. Then you pull from there. What I'll do, I myself with that is I'll set these lines up now. I may build more, I probably will build more green circuits eventually, but again, this is just to get this process running. Even with 64 speed, crafting by hand is a problem. I need to get bots to where bots can take care of this for me. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you guys back once we have this all crafted. You guys get where we're going from here? These will make the copper wire. These will make the green circuits. I just need the stuff. So I'll see you guys when we get back to that. I forgot to turn on the speed multiplier. And we have green circuits being made and red circuits being made, which means now blue circuits are being made. It's going to be a small, slow trickle, but again, I'm just doing this to get this process started. Next, we're going to be grabbing landfill to extend this and to build where we're going to build low density structures. Again, bring you guys back once we got that. Alright, bringing you guys back to finish this up. We now have copper, plastic, and steel being brought to these crafters. Turns out I just had to take the red circuit crafters to make these. But as we can see, we're starting to run low on copper plates. We're starting to see the problem that I mentioned earlier, where we do not have enough resources to keep up with by demand, as the raw resources are our problem. We're noticing it's not that we're not smelting it fast enough, it's we're not getting enough of it fast enough. We're noticing how 3 of our 4 lanes are running low, and it's going to get even worse. But we now have the 3 items being automated. If I go ahead and turn this on to fast speed, we'll notice some low density structures coming in. We now are automating the 3 things we need for going to space. I thought I could do this, but I'm thinking I'm not going to be able to. Although, this will turn into 1, this will turn into 1. I actually can do this instead. It's a lot better on myself. What I'll do is I will do this. I hate it when I lose an underground. It's these. I always hate it when I lose an underground belt, because then I'm like, I have an odd underground belt dimension, and it drives me crazy. We're going to go ahead and put these into passive provider chests. We're basically getting ready for bot age, where we're going to need bots for this stuff. Off camera, I will be getting the next thing I'm going to be working on, this one's going to take me a minute, is I'm going to get a rocket. Or I'm going to get a rocket silo built, which it takes a lot of stuff. I have an idea on how to get some of it, but a lot of it's going to take a while, so I will be back in quite a minute. Alright, thanks to this little jank setup down here, I have crafted the rocket silo that we needed. We'll go right here. Before I put any of this stuff in here, we will be doing productivity modules. Obviously, I want to be able to launch this rocket as easily as possible. So I will be doing productivity modules in it. I rarely will try to launch a rocket in this game without productivity, at least level 1 productivity modules, and it's the first thing that gets higher level productivity modules. But now we can do this. And finally, for the first time in this game, we have the ability to launch a rocket. Obviously though, we're not even close to being ready to launch said rocket. We need to build the starter platform, which takes 20 blue circuits, which will be easy to get, and a lot more steel. We're going to get the circuit, and then I'm going to show you guys what we're going to be doing off camera for a while once we have that. I have some processes that will be taken care of off camera once I can do it off camera. I'm going to want to launch one of these. Actually, no, I can't do that until we get the thing up and running. I will bring you guys back when we're ready for that, since we're getting close to time. I want to save a little bit of time today. Alright, we're back. We're going to build a new space platform. We're going to call this Navis Search Satellite. Probably spelled the satellite wrong, but whatever. Now, this took me a while to figure out is how to get up there. Basically, you just go to your map, click this, and then you go, and then you'll be able to see your area. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a little bit of planning. The first thing I want is I want one of these and one of these, and then one of these, and then we're going to go you, and you, and you. We're going to go up to this one, and we're going to tell it to pull from there. And then we're going to take this one, and this one, and we're going to connect them to the hub. We're going to tell this one, only do if the steel is less than 20. Only do if iron is less than 20. This one is going to say it's only going to take iron plates. This one is only going to take iron ore. This is then also going to make platform. The next thing we want is we want to grab a asteroid collector, and then an asteroid smasher or crusher. That one and that one. We're going to say that, but we want to tell the asteroid collector only grab metal asteroids. And then we also want to tell this one and this one, you will only take asteroids if metal asteroids is less than 3, and you will only take iron ore. Iron ore is less than 50. And then this one will be crushing metal asteroids. Now we need all this stuff to be sent up to space. So 2 of these, 1 of these. Need more inserters. I know we're going to need more inserters than that. And we're okay with sending a little bit of extra of inserters and stuff up because we're going to need inserters for other processes later. This is just what I call my seeder platform. Basically how the platform is going to be grown from its initial stages. Which I need more electric engines, which I had this processing still, so we have plenty. We'll grab one of these. I also need low density structure. Put a few in here. So we do a crusher and one of those. Set up some platform, and we're going to deliver cargo to the Bravo's research satellite. Then we go up here. In a few seconds. It needs more platform, which is fine. What we can do is we can do a little bit of cheat, and we can go ahead and take one of those. But we will notice we cannot build anything still because we need to send up some power plants, or not power plants, solar panels. We're going to send up solar panels. We're going to get a little bit more copper and steel in order to send up some more platform. Basically going to fill this with platform next. Actually, we're going to make some of those. I will bring you guys back in a second. This one's running long, but I want to get this cedar platform built. Alright, bringing you guys back. You'll now notice our process is working. The only thing it needs now is it needs copper wire. Now, eventually what we're going to be able to do with copper wire is we're going to be eventually able to tell it that we want copper wire up here, and it will automatically request copper wire down here, which will automatically send it up. We can't do that yet because we don't have a process we don't have logistics bots to transport the copper wire there. So the way we have to do it right now is I have to collect the copper wire myself and take it to there. But once we get this cedar platform started, I will begin to work on our research platform in the next episode. The one thing I wish they would have done that they didn't do with Factorio, and I think it would have been really cool if they could have done it, is I wish that the ships could connect with one another so they could share resources in space. Because right now, if I have a ship that I want to give the I want to give its resources to another ship. The only way for me to do that is to send it to one of the planets and then have that planet send it up in a rocket, which is expensive because you have to launch the rocket. Well, it's not doing it because it doesn't need it right now. So if we go back up to the Navier satellite, we'll notice what it's doing is it's making the platforms. All it needs is steel and copper cable. I can now let this run, and I can let the surface base run, and we will get plenty of resources from it. The other thing we'll find out from this eventually is that these research satellites, or these satellites, they won't only do research. What they'll do is they'll collect the metal ore, and they'll send their excess iron ore down to the surface, which will then feed our iron ore system, which is currently, as we can see, suffering. But that'll all be in the next episode. I will be letting this run off camera. All I'm going to be doing is getting more platform for the research satellite and working on getting more landfill so that we can start expanding the island even more. But I will see you all when we come back in the next episode. If you're liking the series, please hit that like button. If you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys all next week. Later.